Hey everybody, happy Wednesday. So we're going to be learning about some of the inventions that were important in history, which we have already learned about. So some of these are inventions that we actually have already talked about, but we're just going to recap on them and learn about why they were important. Okay, you guys ready? I'm going to share my screen with you. The first one is something that we already have learned about, the telegraph. All right, so when you're done, you can watch a short video about the telegraph. This is when you guys are done with your assignment, okay? So the first part, ready? The telegraph. The telegraph is a device that was used to communicate in the 1800s. Samuel Morse created the machine because there was a need to send messages quickly to others who were far away. The device sent messages through electric wires. Different dots and dashes made up certain messages. The messages were able to be decoded by an operator. The telegraph changed America because it allowed the country to operate as a whole unit. Until then, the country was divided into small regions and people couldn't communicate, you guys. So you might be asking yourselves, Samuel Morse, that's not the inventor that we talked about. Remember, the telegraph was invented prior, but the inventor that we learned about made a change to that invention. So this telegraph was actually used with just certain lines and dashes, right? But we talked about the clicks and beeps when we learned about it. So your question, how does the telegraph work? We can find that answer here. The device sent messages through electric wires. Different dots and dashes made up certain messages, and they were decoded by an operator. Next one, the steamboat. The invention of the steamboat changed the way of life back in the early 1800s. While many Americans tried to make this means of transportation, meaning how we get somewhere, Robert Fulton was the first to get it to successfully travel down the East Coast. A steamboat burned wood or coal to heat water and turned it into steam. So this boat didn't need gas, it just needed coal or water, and it actually made that move. The boat moved because of the coal or water, and it created steam, which is coming out of here, like you see here. The engine had the power to turn the wheel to go upstream without oars or sails, so it didn't need anything like flag-wise either. In 1807, Robert Fulton built the Clermont. It took only 1.5 days to go 150 miles. Before that, it used to take 4 days to go that far. The steamboat helped people ship and receive goods in a timely and efficient manner. By 1815, steamboats were the main way that people traveled the waters. All right, you have true or false questions, and you have your true and you have your false here. A steamboat burned wool or coal to heat water and turned it into steam. So is that what it heated, wool or coal? I don't know if that's true or false. Steamboats help people ship and receive goods quicker than before. True or false? And remember, you can watch the video too. Last one here. The steam locomotive. America's first steam locomotive was introduced in 1830. It helped transport goods at a much faster rate than by horse. So this is a train, you guys. People knew when and where their goods would arrive. The steam that powered the engines paved the way for development of steam cars. The development of the steam locomotive created the need for many jobs, which started to make the US economy boom. The economy is when people are working, you guys. Like right now, a lot of the economy isn't working because so many businesses are closed. Over the next several years, railroad tracks, down here, were laid to link cities up and down the East Coast. So railroad tracks were made to connect cities. Then, in 1869, the Transcontinental Railroad was completed. It linked the whole nation, spanning all the way across the United States, from the East Coast to the West Coast. So you could ride on a train, you guys, all the way from the East Coast to the West Coast. Now remember, I have a map here. So remember, if we're talking about the East and the West Coast, here is the East Coast, here is the West Coast. So the locomotive could go all the way from, let's say, New York, all the way to California. And that stands true. We could take a train all the way across the United States. Pretty cool, huh? Now, anyone could travel out west just a few days. The invention of the railroad made life easier and more efficient in the United States and even impacted the rest of the world. Now, this is an opinion. How do you think? How do you think the railroad tracks were built through the mountains? How would they make railroad tracks through the mountains? What's your opinion on that? And then describe the three inventions. Remember, you can go back and read about them. I want you to talk about the telegraph, the steamboat, the locomotive. And which one do you think is the most important? It's your opinion on this blue. So remember, when you're typing it, you would say, I think the most important is, And remember, you can watch the videos here and here to help you. I don't have one about the steam locomotive connected because that would make our lesson really long. So after watching this video, make sure you guys go click on the Google Slides so that you guys can start your assignment on this, okay? And if you need to revisit this video, you can. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.